girl. That's what it says in here.
Like $20 for a field trip is the least of your problems. You got 3 kids. They don't need to go on no damn field trip if you ain't got $20. You need groceries. You need gas to put in the car.
Hey.
Like it's bigger than a field trip.
So my kids need to suffer just because I may be going through a momentary.
They not going. If I was your man, we stay in the house and we ain't got $20 for them to go on field trip. They not going, dog.
But
Hey.
they don't stay together. You didn't say he didn't have it. I don't have it. And that's my man. You should have my back.
So as your man, if we was really together, dog, they.
It's gonna be a long day.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's happening? What's good?
What
It's
up?
your boy Vaughn.
What's poppin'?
Okay. Anyway.
It's Kashorna, of course, your favorite host.
Wait.
More favorite than Tunde.
More favorite.
Yeah.
That's not even the
Yeah.
correct.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
We really gonna do better. we really gonna have to do better. I'm just saying.
Backyard University.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy. It's your boy Rashad.
It's
Not
your boy.
The realist, just a realist. Coming at you again. Thank y'all for joining us.
Oh, we got extra long.
Everybody had a long day.
Lord.
Intros toe up.
Hey, you guys. Hey, thank you so much for joining us this week. Don't start.
Y'all look at LaCrystal new hairstyle, y'all.
Do that. We don't do that. We do that when you do the stuff.
Nah, look at LaCrystal new hair, y'all.
But anyways, Krishana made me do it, y'all. That's what I'm sticking with. That's
This is peer pressure at its best.
Y'all, her hair
Peer
is
pressure at its
cute.
best.
I don't know.
What y'all
Vaughn
think,
said
y'all?
he ain't feeling it, y'all. Vaughn said he ain't
Bon's
rocking
might got a
with
girl
it.
on him, and apparently I didn't get permission to go blonde either, so I
Yeah.
got kicked out the group. Apparently I got to go through approval.
Boom. Anyway, so what was going on with you guys this week? What's up?
I followed suit with you and went up to New Braunfels and floated the rivers with my daughter.
Did you lose anything like I did?
Yeah, I did. If y'all been looking for me, my bad. Fucked around and lost my phone in the river. So I had to re-up again one day.
Y'all rookies, man. Y'all
Bro, no.
I've never lost my phone in the river.
I'm not a rookie. My daughter was.
Oh,
So she flipped. And I had the necklace and everything, but I went to swimming and it just...
yeah.
Oh, you
know,
you lost it within the necklace thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dang.
wow.
Yeah.
It didn't
I mean,
float up
it was
and-
my daughter the phone, and then we had the snacks. I had both my daughters.
Alright.
One got hung up, and then one was down here about 20 yards. I was like, just wait right there. I'm going after this
Oh
one.
my
That
God.
one flips over, and I'm like,
Oh, wow.
I really have to choose which kid I like more at that moment.
Wow.
Oh.
Sophie's choice up in his mug.
I got both of them. It's okay.
But the phone, not
But the phone, we just had to go ahead. So if y'all been looking for me today, my bad. Definitely gonna be right back at it tomorrow. Y'all know where I'm at. Hit my line and I'm back at you. If you need mechanic work, TV's hung, or whatever y'all was hitting me up for, I got you.
Y'all see Tunde making beds now. Y'all saw that?
I seen that UFO bed. I was like, he wants some out of the planet.
Hey, on the real, like that was just a project of mine. But like after I posted it, like 8 people hit me up. They was like, "Hey, I want a bed like that." I was like, "Well, I guess I'm making beds."
It was pretty neat. I would have never thought to put
Yeah,
like
the floating
LED
bed,
lights,
like it do, like it sets the mood. And then I'm doing some
So
floating.
you find that on
nightstands.
Pinterest or something?
Yeah, I did find those on Pinterest.
Was it
I
on
do
kinky
Pinterest.
website or nothing like that?
It's always on the kinky website. Now the BDSM kit that's coming with it when I put. The
Okay,
straps and
so
stuff
what
on the side-
y'all
Oh,
been
okay.
doing this week? Because he
feel?
about to go all the way left.
I mean,
Right.
she asked.
Well, I'm off tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, it's Juneteenth.
Juneteenth tomorrow, yeah. I had a pretty relaxed weekend. Went by the pool, went to have
Thanks for
drinks
the invite.
one evening. But I was in the bed majority of my weekend.
Yeah.
So quite relaxing. And now I'm ready to be at brunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Earned it.
Speaking of Juneteenth, shout out to David Richmond. He has a whole picnic, thing tomorrow going on.
Really?
Shirts, vendors. I'll post the flyer for it on the wall, but and then on Saturday they're doing something at the beach.
Yeah.
To follow up on that. So
Yeah, and that does look like a really good event. He really did put on a nice.
they have a whole
family
group.
event.
So if
Yeah.
you want to be put in that group, let me know. Inbox one of us, and we'll make sure you get up in it. What about you, Vaughn?
Which part?
What you
doing? What you did this week?
Weekend.
Weekend.
We had an Airbnb for my sister's birthday in Third Ward. It was pretty cool. This week has been horrible. I've been sick all week. Yeah, it's been a rough week. But other than that, everything cool. I'm off tomorrow too.
Well, I mean, honestly,
I don't feel like I can be there for you today.
Man, honestly, sick or not, the dust still settled the
I'm gonna
same.
sit on this corner right here. You know, Nigerians are immune the most, but I ain't gonna.
Got me sitting next to Cootie Boy over here.
Wow.
I sit next to you every week, so
Whatever.
That part.
shit. I mean,
So let's take a quick commercial break.
DMR Properties can help. Bad credit, broken leases, evictions, foreclosure, criminal records are all okay.
No apartments, houses only.
If you're an apartment or just want to upgrade, contact John Reed DMR Properties, 832-725-1433. Again, that's 832-725-1433 before it's too late.
No apartments, houses only.
DMR Properties, 832-725-1433.
So that commercial was brought to you all by Mr. DMR himself. He was here last week.
Mr.
acting
Trouble.
a whole
Mr.
fool.
Trouble. Hey, I like my boy, man. My boy brought some fire to the show. I like that.
Oh
That
my
energy.
God. Vaughn and Tunde had a little too much fun with him on the show. I was about ready to smack all three of them.
Inviting him back.
He totally had me out of character last week. Like, I felt like I was ready to stand up and like.
He really had me like out of energy. It's I just couldn't even like
people to tell y'all the truth about shit. That's
whatever.
It wasn't the truth.
It was
y'all BS that I say all the time. Y'all got pulled into the side room and y'all all were giving the same.
Well, who calls you to the side when you come with your BS?
Whatever.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
y'all okay?
Now that's the truth.
And you don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that.
Y'all was amped up last week though. Y'all was really on one. I was going back looking at the episode. Like I know they fucking lying.
Yeah, y'all tell us. Didn't y'all see them cutting up last week? They was on 10 last week. I started to pull out my belt and give them the whooping they deserved last week.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh my God.
So this week, we decided to do What's on My Mind. We did it a couple months ago, and it actually was one of my favorite episodes, and we got a lot of great response from it.
That's pretty dope.
Usually, so what happens like every week on Mondays, we get together we get together once a month and decide what we're gonna do, and then we like powwow about it on Monday, and we all had like different things going on. So it was like, shit, let's do it. What's on my mind?
Oh, flip a coin in this bitch.
So how that works is none of us know what the others are going to bring up. They bring it up, and we start talking about it, and we just gonna get it.
Yeah.
And as usual, we're gonna start with Tunda.
La
Tunde.
Tunde.
We're gonna stop this.
La Tunde, La Dusty, La Tunde.
Oh, before we start, everyone take out, hit your phones, hit your laptops, and share. Don't be stingy. Come on, share the wealth. Let people know.
Everybody needs this in their life.
I know, right?
I know, Felicia. I'm with you.
Hey, I'm with you on Saturday, so.
So someone asked, when is our next meet and greet? So we need to figure that out. But they trying to put us back on lockdown, so that's the thing. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, we can't wait to do another one. But I mean, reality, it's unpredictable. Like the real reality.
Yeah.
Like,
but we here with y'all soon.
Yeah.
Soon enough.
Be patient. Hold on.
Yeah.
Just hold tight. All right, so I guess we starting off with me.
You look real extra dusty.
Why you gonna do my boy like that, man?
Because that's my job. Now go ahead.
All right,
I just
so
feel like I just want to say, just let you.
hey, Vaughn, watch it. She gonna swing her head one time. It's gonna get
Baby, don't get it twisted. This is all natural curls, baby. Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
Ain't nothing but oats burn.
Baby, hey.
What my mama and my daddy and my grandma gave me. Okay, don't get it twisted.
Oh, look at you getting all them compliments in the
I hear you.
comments.
Thank you. They trying to talk about
Man,
this.
do not boast this woman up.
That ain't nothing but oats
This
burn.
is what I was birthed with.
All right, so I guess one thing that's been on my mind. This is actually like something that popped up recently. A friend of mine called me, kind of looking for advice. A lot of people call me looking for advice. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I have no idea why y'all be asking me for advice. 'Cause my relationships be just as fucked up as y'all's, but like this one kind of like hit me kind of hard because like it was kind of deep, like on multiple levels or whatever. So I had a friend, she called me or whatever. She's like, hey, just tell me, you know, am I in the wrong here? And I'm like, all right, what's up? So basically, I'm going to sum it up real quick to make it fast because we only got an hour and everybody else need to talk. But she went over to a dude's house, all right? And basically, for the most part, he assumed because she came over that he was entitled to have sex with her. From what I gathered from the story, they were acquaintances from a while back. Nothing ever popped off. They kind of like reconnected or whatever, probably through Facebook. Yeah, one of them or whatever. And she said he was at a bar. She was at work. And he said, hey, you know what I'm saying, whenever you get off work, come through and chill. She was like, all right, cool. So, and I asked her, like, one of the first things I asked was like, well, what time of the night was it? Which, not saying that it justifies anything, but I'm like, just trying to see, did she come over at 1 o'clock in the morning? She's like, nah, I came over like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm like, all right, that's decent hours. So she says that, you know, she came over, they chilled, and she said, like, you know, she went to sleep over there. And woke up the next morning and dude was like, you know, trying to make a move on her. She was like, you know, nah, I'm good. She was like, you know, everything before that was fine. The whole night before they chilled, nothing popped off. Right. She said, you know, he, you know, low-key tried to make moves, you know, during the night. But she was like, nah, and he respected it and it was cool. Right. But she says the next morning when they woke up, like, he was, like, big mad. Right. And, like, even to the point where, like, some of his responses to her text messages was like, you know, it's not that big a deal. You should have just let it happen and all this other stuff. And I'm like, nah, like, I feel like he felt like he was entitled. Right. And she's like, well, you know, she asked me, like, if a dude invites you over to his house, does that mean that you guys are having sex? I'm like, me personally, nah. Some dudes, yeah, but it really just depends on the amount of communication y'all had beforehand. Right. But from the information I gathered from her, like, that wasn't the tone that was set. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I really feel like that's a problem because, like, dude, like, really, like, you know, my friend's cool or whatever, but, like, the way the dude was talking to her, like, it was really, like, on some manipulative, like, really trying to make her question the stuff, like, she did something wrong, or, like, she was leading him on, or she was teasing him. She's like, nah, I ain't never went. I asked her, like, so, like, was the conversation beforehand in a sexual tense? She's like, nah, we really, like, disconnected, like, maybe a day or two before. Like, it didn't even get that far. Right. So I told her, like, you know, don't beat yourself up about it. That was really just him feeling entitled to getting some. Right. Because, you know what I'm saying, that's just how he operates, I guess. And I was like, you know, I just don't feel like that's right. And I don't feel like a woman should be put in that position. Like, I don't feel like a woman should feel like she has to give up anything for any reason. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the fact of she wants to do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I don't know. But, like, her whole thing was like, you know, is a dude inviting you over, like, you know, cues for he wants to have sex. And I'm like, nah, it shouldn't be. Yeah. But what are y'all opinions on that? Dude tells you to come over, let's say 10 o'clock at night. Do you feel like that's him saying he wants to smash or he wants to chill? So he precursor saying they gonna spend the night. So is it different? I think there's a difference, right? If you just say come over versus come over and spend the night. So if you say come over and spend the night, is that like are you expected? Or is there an expectation of sex at that point?
No, especially if it's. First of all, it depends on, like, who it is, right? Yeah. You know, what y'all are on. But just in general, even if y'all have done it before, you know, in a sense, I feel like that kind of makes a difference.
Yeah, if y'all did it. Yeah, but they had no relationship before.
Yeah. But for somebody like that, like, no. I feel like we're adults, you know. No expectations, no disappointments, how I feel. You shouldn't be feeling entitled to receive sex just because we're being adults. Yeah. You know, like chilling. Like,
exactly.
No,
that's what I was saying. Like,
no, it should be that respect. You shouldn't even be like wanting and needy like that. Like,
I agree. And the way like he was like the way his response, like he was low key like real mad.
He's a lame.
That's how I feel.
He's a lame.
Well, you invite a chick over 11 o'clock at night, you gonna get some?
I think it just depends. Like, I'm not a very aggressive person when it comes to sex anyway. So usually the woman has to kind of.
Yeah, that kid.
So you don't feel like you're pressuring them into anything. So you just kind of let them
let the woman set the tone.
But but also I don't agree with a woman coming over to a man's house and maybe sleeping butt naked or you know what I'm saying? Like
okay, nah, she had clothes on.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But I've heard females that do that. They be like, oh well, you know, I sleep naked, so I got naked and
okay,
he
was
trying
that'll
something
be different.
like
that'll be different. Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, of course.
So is t-shirt and panties considered naked?
I mean, a nigga gonna try to do his thing anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think of one or two of these, a nigga gonna roll over and go back to the, you know what I'm saying?
You right? Nah, you right.
You gonna touch, but nigga, one or two
nah,
of
you
them
go for the thigh. You go for a nice little thigh rub. See where it's at.
Rub on the ass a little bit.
But my thing
See where it's
is,
at?
you know, after the first or
After
second,
the first pop,
Yeah,
the first or second little, like,
Nah, the
you
second
know.
pop, I'ma chill.
Yeah.
'Cause y'all never get it after the first time.
Sometimes
That's
it's like
why.
that.
Yeah.
You know, that boy style.
Yeah.
That first time they're tall. She
Yeah.
really wanted though.
Yeah.
She really wanted.
That
She
second
raised up
time.
on that back, tell me, yeah, go ahead, boy, slap them off. Go ahead, slap them whole things off,
Boy,
man.
quit playing.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's out of line, and honestly, I would be afraid to, you know, even drink around him and things like that, because you never know what he may be entitled to if y'all go and get drinks. Also, in general, I will be mindful of whose house I went to.
Agreed.
I like to meet people publicly a lot, but if like I get a certain comfort or have some type of, you know, history with you, or like I've had that comfort, I may pull up. But a lot of times I'm like, where we going? Like,
Yeah.
So I know, I feel like I know Kashana answer because she's really direct. So like, because I had this conversation with another friend a couple weeks back. So like, as a woman, if a dude invites you over to his house or whatever, of course, depending on the relationship you have, but if it's fairly new, do you feel it's okay to like ask what's his intent, like for you coming over? Because she was like, you know, she came over to a dude's house, and she assumed that he wanted to do something, but she didn't know. I was like, shit, why ain't you ask? And she was like, well, no, that'd be kind of awkward. I was like, nah, it ain't, because you stepping into, a foreign space. Like, you should definitely know where the other person's head's at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as a woman, do you feel
Those
comfortable making
conversations
that?
are super awkward as hell though. Like,
yeah, that's weird to be like, hey, girl, come, let's smoke some hookah, have some drinks. I mean, what's your intent? Like,
yeah, I'm really, I don't like playing sex, first of all. And I feel like having those kind of conversations is, to me, equates to playing sex.
Yeah.
Like, what's your intention?
Hold on. But you know what? It's kind of like it's a double standard though, right? Because if a guy comes over to a girl's house and she wants to have sex, right?
He gonna give me that
That's my
thing.
mom, my nigga.
But-
That's
I'm
my
just
mom, my
asking, like, what's the difference, right? What if I was like, I didn't come over here for that. Get your hands off
But
me.
first of all, that
Hey,
never,
low-key,
that never happened.
No, I didn't have to do that. I didn't done that.
I ain't never had that happen.
I didn't have to do that.
History nigga did.
I didn't have to do that.
Nigga turn
She was like, come here, let me give you this neck. I was like, whoa. Right?
No,
Like,
wait, not he said, let me give you this neck.
Dog, bro, this shit really
Bro, it
happens,
happened.
dog.
No, this does happen. Like, real
bullshit.
talk.
Dog, some chicks be out here like on
They
some,
aggressive out here,
Dog,
fool. Like, for
aggressive.
real.
I mean,
So
honestly,
like, if me and a guy have that type of standard already set, I can be very aggressive. But like the first time or whatever, like I don't want to be sitting here on the phone. So what are your intentions with me?
Yeah.
Well,
coming
no, it ain't
over?
like
You
that,
know?
but it's like, you know what
Well,
I'm
so
saying?
how do you have that conversation, Tunda?
I mean,
do you feel like women should?
I mean, to avoid situations like my friend had, yeah. I mean,
I feel-
I over communicate.
Right.
I'd rather over communicate than misunderstand somebody.
I
That's
feel
me.
like that's awkward, and I feel like if you're going to somebody's house, in your mind you should have like the sense of like confidence that obviously this nigga not crazy. If I'm coming over here, like I feel like it's that sense of some type of security to where you think obviously he's not crazy, right? Like
Okay.
he's gonna respect you enough.
So would you,
Like-
if you invite you over, and would you be like, no, you ain't getting none tonight?
So I feel like when people
Nah.
say that you're putting that in that person's head to
Yeah,
like,
first of
okay,
all-
let's see what I can do.
First of all, women know what the fuck to do. All y'all gotta do is say I'm on my period. It shuts everything the fuck down, and that's the end of it.
Unfortunately,
all
not
guys.
with every guy.
Not with all guys.
Not with all
No,
guys.
listen, I don't give a fuck what nigga you fucking with. If he ain't your nigga, there's no way a chick gonna tell me she on her period. I'm be like, well, shit. You know,
Well, I ain't lied. I heard some
So,
stories. man.
I'm sorry to
It's
tell
some-
you,
no,
Bun,
it's
that's
some
not the
nasty-
case.
It's some nasty niggas.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the majority,
Majority.
not the niggas Lil Crystal talk to. The majority.
Yeah, but the majority
Oh,
know what's up. Like they know that's like it's a no. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to hit nothing. Women will go to the extreme
And back-
pants on, like they
Right.
do some shit. Y'all
And
know
back to
the
what
fuck
you
do,
said,
man.
it's no double standard to me when the answer is no. Period. From a man or woman.
Okay.
And
there
that's
you go.
and that's
So
the.
you do
I feel like
believe
it's no
men
double
getting
standard.
raped?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, men can't get raped.
Yeah,
but
yeah, like-
I'm just saying
I'm not.
that it's
She
very
gotta be a
rare.
big,
I'm not with the
big old bitch.
I'm not with the. I'm not with the peer pressure. game.
boy. Bring that ass here.
On some like real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be
I
one
just-
thing if you being
I
playful
just-
with
I
somebody
just
you
got
do
a
it, but
window one time.
Shut up.
Oh,
Okay, I ain't never got
You
that
didn't-
bad.
Vaughn sneaking out the
Vaughn
windows,
is
y'all.
Vaughn is my hero.
Now this chick would not let me out the room. She locked me in her room and was in the living room.
Wait, stop,
no
pause.
lie.
Locked you in the room.
My cousin had to come pick me up, man. I had to go out the bedroom window.
Oh, my God.
Because she was in there watching TV, laughing. I was like, this bitch
Locked
crazy.
you with shit.
Wait. How long did you know? Wait. No. This.
No bullshit.
How long did you know her before you found out she was crazy?
This had to be like, it was like 3 weeks. So I go over there to chill.
Yeah.
I had my cousin drop me off because we was out. He dropped me off. I get over there. She like, oh, so I'm like, nah, baby, I'm chilling. Like, what I'm saying? And she was trying to hit like, oh, I'll be right back. Went out. I hear the door lock, right? So I'm like,
that's like stuff in TV.
so I'm getting up, I'm checking, I'm saying, what the fuck? So I'm like, man, come on, bro, quit playing. She's like, do you let me know when you ready?
Bro.
You showed out a pick 'em.
Let me know you ready. Let me know what they're going to do.
I said, bro, you gotta come get me.
I took her ass to people's court.
I told him what happened. I said, man, this is some bullshit. I had to climb out the window.
I took her to court.
But the thing, her patio was like, her porch was like right by the window.
Yeah.
Man,
Which floor was it?
It was the second floor.
Oh
But it wasn't like, her patio was like right there by the window. So it was like when I went out the window, I was on the patio.
Oh, okay.
So it was all good, but still.
Bless
Wow,
you.
that's
You
good,
a
huh?
victim.
Bro, that could've went-
Oh my God, Vaughn, you a
Vaughn
whole
is a
victim.
victim.
That's why you need
You
therapy
almost
now.
got abducted and sex trafficked. Y'all, that is serious.
What's on your mind, Kashana? What's on your mind, boo?
Hey, yo, wait, real quick.
Okay.
Hey, y'all know I do wear like a different shirt every episode. So, hey, just for this one, because this one kind of, I like this one. $5 for anybody, for the first person to type the name of this show. I'm a cash app you.
I'm
Put your
about to
cash
type
app.
that shit.
$5. Nah, not you. $5 for the first person that knows the name of this show right here.
$5. Ooh,
I feel like
that's
I know
easy.
it.
That's
Not everybody
No,
remember
I know
this one
that
though.
one.
Not everybody remember this one.
I know that one.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Kay.
Oh, that's the one they on the island.
no.
No,
No $5 for that.
$5
No,
for
not you.
Okay. So wow, nobody ain't type nothing.
See,
80s
80s babies.
So today, I was kind of like, my brain wasn't like really flowing and in the space of trying to think about what I want to talk about. So I went on my personal Instagram and kind of put a what's on your mind on my Instagram, and they gave me some ideas. And
She got it.
Lala got it. They gave me ideas, and then one of the homies from the Boom Bap podcast actually.
Shout out to Boom Bap.
Yeah, shout out to them. He gave me an idea, which was black men versus black women. Why can't we get on the same page? # cancel culture.
Ooh.
Y'all.
What is that? I mean, explain.
So, for one, I feel like that has to do with a lot. I know lately y'all been seeing things about protect the black woman. That's been very heavy on the timeline. With all this BLM things going on, you see comments about interracial dating. You see comments about this, about that, about the black man, the black woman, and how, black women go to the edge of the earth. And, just like all of this stuff. And I feel like it's just a battle of women not being, a lot of women feeling like not appreciated and protected by the black man, more so disrespected and, underappreciated, like undervalued.
Got you.
And I learned that from the comment section. Like, people look, they feel undervalued and disrespected. Clown, just made mockery of on, social media and stuff like that.
So
what are your thoughts?
That's a really loaded question because there's a lot
So
of
many different angles.
perspectives. There's a lot of perspectives in that. Because the black man could feel just as attacked as the black woman, vice versa. I think it really just comes down for me personally. A lot of people don't want to, in this day and age, people don't want to meet each other in the middle. People want instant gratification, and they want to feel like their problems are solved first before they will care about anybody else's.
Right.
And I think that is one of the biggest hurdles that we have to get over is realizing that at the end of the day, we are all in the same struggle.
Right.
Because even like back in the day, if you really look at the way that things broke down, before when there was a black movement, it was the black family. Then right after the black movement came the women's rights movement. And it wasn't the black woman's rights. It was more so the Caucasian woman's rights.
Right.
But the Caucasian woman pulled the black woman into her struggle which really wasn't even their struggle. So then that's when it became women against men. And from there, it just kind of snowballed and kind of evolved into what it is today.
How do you feel about like women saying that they don't feel, like a black woman saying they don't feel protected? Like as a man, I want to know like what you think.
I mean, as the man that I am, I anybody that messes with me, anybody that's a friend to me knows that I cut for mine like no other. I hold women. I typically, and this is one of my downfalls in my younger youth, is I have always put women on a pedestal.
Right.
And sometimes when it's not needed. So me personally, I can't empathize. I hear about a lot of stories that women go through, but sometimes it's hard for me to sympathize with them because I really do stick with the principle of they only do what you allow. And you know, some will say you know, the dating pool is kind of slim for women, and that it's hard for a woman to find a good man, so they kind of settle. And I'm one of those people who I don't settle.
Right.
Shit, I'm on my third marriage. I don't settle. Like,
right.
If it ain't working, it ain't working. Like, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's nice. That's what I expected. Vaughn, what do you feel? Black men versus black women. Why can't we get on the same page? What are your thoughts?
I feel like, and this is not all black women, but some black women, it's like they take joy in breaking the black man down, and then they'll look back and be like, why the black man don't support the black woman? But it depends on what that man has been through, right? So every man doesn't have, it's just like with the cops, right? So everybody can't say that they hate the cops, right? Unless they've had bad experience with the cops. And they can be like, oh, well, fuck the police. Like, I won't say it because I've never had a bad experience with them.
Agreed.
So I grew up in a house full of women, so I love the black woman, right? I would never tear a black woman down ever. It don't matter what they do to me. I never, ever tear a black woman down. Right. But at the same time, I've seen it, like black women that purposely will kick a black man when he down, like,
right,
which is crazy to me, right? Because we're supposed to be building each other up as a people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would never ever kick LaCrystal while she down, like, oh, LaCrystal struggling, fuck you, nigga, like,
right.
No, nigga, I'm gonna be like, man, what can I do? Like, what, you know, what? So I think at that point, it can't be like, oh, why can't we get on the same page? We have to figure out what is the divide that makes us not be on the same page, and then try to mend that part of it, and say, okay, well, this is what we're gonna do, because right now, unity is more important than ever.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? Because we got somebody in the White House that don't give a fuck about unity.
Right.
So shit, if we don't do it, starting from within our community, we gonna be doomed, man.
Well, so for me, I don't even. So my thought process is that it's not even a thing of black women against black men. I feel it's more so a thing of black people in general against black people. I feel that we have such an issue with the whole unity thing. We are. I feel that we're the first to knock each other before someone on the outside does, and I think that is a even that to me that's the greater issue.
Yeah,
right.
That we have. It's not about the black man against the black woman. You know, it's just black people against each other.
Do you think that? Do you think that a lot of black people don't want to see nobody doing better than them, like the other, like?
Yeah.
I never want to see nobody doing better than me, right? You can be right underneath me, but I don't need you. I don't want you to. I'm not gonna help you surpass me, right?
Yeah.
And that's a fucked up way to think, right? Like, I want all my people to win.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want everybody to win. So, I think a lot of black people like that. They feel like, oh, okay, well, I got this big ass house, but that's my nigga. But I don't want that nigga on my block. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they don't want to.
I don't want to buy that. You might buy a house bigger than mine.
I don't want to give him that knowledge of what I did to get on
the crab in a bucket type stuff. And I'm sure y'all seen, you know, what happened. The video from 5015.
Oh yeah.
I missed that. Whatever.
Black-owned business blew up a week ago.
No, they burnt it down.
Yeah. What was it?
Like, it was like, what, 5 or 6 people pouring gasoline around that motherfucker? 4 appeared to be black men.
Oh, wow.
Burned down a black-owned business.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. The fire department let the video out today, and they in that motherfucker pouring gasoline.
5 gallons, like, just like
around
each of them, they just like literally.
Is it the owners or someone on the outside?
It's like some youngsters.
It seemed like a, you know, like a targeted, you know, type thing. It was definitely.
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
The fact that it's intentional, and then you see black people in the video with a new black-owned business by a very respected person in the Houston community.
That's crazy.
Which that place was just renovated. It was so far they estimated $750,000 worth of damage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because it not only damaged the what's going on over here? Oh, it not only damaged theirs, it damaged people's around it.
Crazy.
The homes,
That is
like,
so
and all that
sad.
stuff. So it's crazy. And I guess on this topic too, I feel like it goes down to like it goes even back as far as to the household. In regards to like women who may not have, men in the home, dad's not there, the broken homes, allowing the uncles, to molest, allowing like women like just go through so much stuff without, sometimes the black man, like their protection. So I feel like everybody's hurt comes from so many different angles. Like, so I feel like you have to specifically ask each black woman, like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Because I may say one thing, LaCrystal may say another. I personally feel protected by the people who I expect to protect me.
Correct.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
but saying that, the people you expect to protect me, but do you feel in general that you are protected by, if you were out in the street, do you feel like a black man would come to your aid if you were ever in a situation? Like, just something simple, like stranded on the side of the road.
Well, I've had it happen. And
You've had it happen?
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely. I definitely feel like chivalry isn't dead. I feel like some people were definitely raised extremely well, but there is a lot of disrespect, going on, and a lot of mockery going on that's really not uplifting for sure.
Definitely.
That I witness, all the time. So,
Vaughn, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind?
roll the drum.
Nah, so I had this conversation about a week ago with somebody who says that a woman that's over 40 and that's single, then something's wrong with her.
Really?
Like something is wrong with, like something has to be wrong with her. Like, why are you 40 and nobody wants you?
See, I personally hate that statement because people in our society and our generation feel like being alone means that something is wrong with you. And that is the complete opposite.
And something else I have a problem with is it goes back to people putting like parameters on things. So like, people think something wrong with me because I don't have kids. I'm about to be 32. I have no kids.
Well, no, 32 is not. It's
well,
not.
By most people's standards.
I know.
It's kind of late in the game.
I think if we were talking like 10 years ago, maybe, but now it's like 30 is damn near the new 20, like damn near.
It's still.
If you think about it, like
it's
still
40. It's like in my mind, if somebody is 30, they in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? They ain't like, oh my God, she's 30.
I'm telling you, as a woman.
As a woman, yeah.
I can speak for me because I'm a woman.
Well,
30, being
allegedly.
Being 30, get slapped. Being over 30 with no kids, it just reminds me of that. Like, people, try to put ages on. Like, you need to be married by this, and you need to. Something must be wrong with you. You're single. Yeah. Oh, why you don't have kids? You must be. Oh, you're so pretty. Why don't like people just? That's just dumb to me. I don't agree with that.
I know. I just feel like that. You never know what a person's story is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody could have been married and got divorced. Mm-hmm. It could be anything, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people might not be ready to be in a relationship. Like,
right. Like,
I think if you're
it could be a personal thing.
I think if you're not ready, you know what I'm saying, you should take as much time as you need is needed to make sure that you're ready for a relationship.
All right.
Instead of just saying, oh, even with kids, you got to make sure you're ready.
Right.
Instead of just saying, oh my God, everybody's asking me, or
what are y'all gonna take care of and what y'all got on?
Exactly. No, and I think more so what people get caught up on is life. Your life is your life, and you have to do what's right for you.
Right.
Like I got this one friend, Wadley. Dude, when I met him, he was 19. When I met him, he was 20. He got a vasectomy at 19.
Oh, shit.
Wait, is that even legal?
Hold on, who performed it?
Shit. He gave me the name of the place because that's where I was gonna get mine at. Like, real talk. But no. But
at
seriously.
19, that's like,
bro, I swear to God.
I called flag on the play.
No, I swear to God. So I asked him, like, bro, why'd you get a vasectomy so early? He was like, honestly, because I know I'm a very selfish person and I'm not going to want to share anything.
How do you know that at 19?
Bro, but like, dude, when I met him, he was 19. He was working at Centerpoint. Bro has been living in Dubai for the last, like, 9 years. And he's living his best life. And low-key, I love my kids. But I'm a little jealous. Disclaimer. I'm a little jealous. I'm like, man, bro, he's really living his whole life out there, like, for real. Like, and that's what he enjoyed, and he has no regrets. Right. And, like, people were looking like, what's wrong with him? Why didn't he, like, that's what he wanted for his life. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, there's no standard on how you should live your life.
Well, I feel like, and I've said this before on the show, I feel like marriage in general has become, like, people ain't checking for it like they used to. You know, like
because it's a fucking joke. That's why. Like, what do you mean?
Wait, no. Marriage itself is not a joke. What people expect out of marriage is.
Well, because people don't know. First of all, marriage is not what your grandparents had back in the day. Like, you have to the times have changed, so people have to understand you got to come within the times, right?
Agreed.
Marriage is so fucking. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's a joke these days to me.
I want to be married, so we've had this conversation, but it's just like.
But even in that, you just said, I want to be married so bad.
Why do you want to be married so bad?
Because I want.
And let me tell you, I can probably talk you out of it. So,
okay, so we're not. Then we're not gonna do it.
Okay,
we're
not. No, it's on our mind. Let's talk about
it. But y'all should support it.
No, I support. No, my whole thing. I support LaCrystal holistically as a friend. And if she says she wants to do something, the first thing I'm gonna ask her is why. And if there's not a valid reason why, then we need to talk about it.
Right, that's fair. That's fair.
So it's just that simple.
Trying to talk her out of stuff. Fine.
Okay. But I just feel like nowadays versus the way it used to be. Like back in the day, if you were 40 and not married, you were definitely considered an old maid. Now people are just like, it's like the everyday norm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
People really need to get with the program. At the end of the day, like I said, everybody does not want to get married. Some people are okay with companionship. Companionship is booming these days.
And like, some people just want to be alone.
Some people cool with that. Like,
I mean, would you rather have somebody that you have a life partnership with? That's
why we can't have both? Why can't?
I mean, so what you
shouldn't have to choose.
Searching for titles? What you looking for?
Well, Vaughn, we already know. Unless she about to backtrack some more, like she did last episode. Oh yeah, it is about a title.
It's definitely about a title.
And don't cook that man no food, because she gonna whip your ass.
Oh God.
Exactly.
So LaCrystal.
No fucking food.
LaCrystal, what is on your mind?
Are you gonna talk about what we talked about? No.
I'll talk about it.
I was gonna bring it up.
You can bring it up.
Okay. So me and Vaughn had a conversation earlier this week that he was watching T.I.'s podcast, and basically he said the concept was because of the fact that women so outnumber men in reference to the population. You know, you go from the men, so then you have to knock it down even further for the to subtract the men who are incarcerated. Then you have to knock it down even more for like the men who who are gay. So there's so many women per one man.
No. This is how it went. So he was basically saying that the number to men to women is like, let's say if it's
3-1, right?
No, it's like 20-1.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
So he's saying that in Atlanta, if you subtract niggas that's in jail, that puts it up to like 24-1 to gay dudes, right? So that puts it up to probably about 28-1. So you got
the married people trying to act single. Everything now.
yeah.
That too. So basically, that's you even okay. And then let's say dudes that don't even have jobs, right? So basically, what you're saying is, let's say if it's like 34-1, right? Would you accept your man doing? He said your man goes to Miami and he eat 4 booties in Miami, right? That's what he said. This is an analogy again. 4 booties. When he comes back home, are you more reluctant to accept it and stay because it's different, right? He got 34 more options. I told you, LaCrystal. I say it's easier for a dude. That's why when women cheat on men, it's easier for us to leave because we have 34 other motherfuckers that we can choose from. To our one.
That's so messed up.
So I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying.
I don't
However,
agree with
it's a whole world out here.
Hold on. Numbers don't lie. Y'all outnumber us.
That's fine. However, if they ain't shit in Houston, guess what? I got New York. But I got
here's
California.
The thing. So what happens is, I have seen this firsthand. A lot of times, women, and we see it on our news feed all the time on Facebook. Women will put up with a dude and his bullshit because she's like, okay, well, yeah, this is bad, but what's out there is even worse. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the bullshit that I know compared to the bullshit that's out there.
I feel like that gets old.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'd rather put up with bullshit with somebody that I love and I care about rather than put up with some bullshit from a random.
But
I feel like that runs its course.
At what point does that stop? Like, just because, and I think it's really messed up because you're like, okay, well, if the woman does something, I can go ahead and bounce like expeditiously because of the fact that it's 30 more out there like her.
And my thing is, don't ever think. That's messed up because my line of thinking is, if that's your line of thinking, I'm gonna look at you like, don't ever think I don't have options. Like this is a whole big ass world.
Okay.
So if you think I
don't think you're getting what I'm saying.
I
right?
know what you're saying.
Okay, so it's easier for us to find another you than it is for you to find another year one. Not saying that there's not a bunch of the ones out there, but what I'm saying is for you to find.
So you just bottom line is it's easier.
I mean, you should agree with this. You've been married 3 times.
Yeah, it's easier.
I
Okay, I get what you're
mean,
saying.
Yeah, so
and it was nothing to be married again in 6 months.
I get what you're
Oh
saying.
shit!
I ain't getting married again.
I mean, it's real.
No, but seriously.
So you're saying
okay.
it's easier. Okay.
I mean, in the dating scene, yeah, I guess if you're looking at the numbers, yeah. But on a moral level, like, I can't agree because I don't believe in anybody selling. I don't think anybody should settle for anything they don't want.
Yeah. And I think I was speaking morally when I was speaking, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're looking at the statistics, yeah.
But I mean, do I think that, and realistically, do I feel like that if you don't fight for something, then you're not gonna get anything out of it? So if people are gonna make mistakes.
Agreed.
Right?
No.
So if
agree.
you can't go into any situation being like, okay, some shit might happen down the road and I got to be prepared for it, then I don't really think you should just be jumping into a relationship.
This is how I feel though. Like everything take its course. Everything get old. Everybody got to take somebody bullshit. You just have to choose which bullshit is working.
One
right?
thing I've always said is everybody's gonna hurt you, even the people that love you.
But it gets to a point to where enough is enough, and the shit is old, it's tired, it's dry, it's dead, it's done. It will get to that point. Shit get old eventually. Period.
And I think this kind of thinking is why poly is becoming such like a. Okay, I'm gonna get me into a poly,
that's
because
definitely the wrong reason to get
I
into it.
don't know about that one.
Definitely the wrong
okay,
reason.
it's not the right reason, but I feel like that's why it's become a greater, like.
No, that part I do agree with. A lot of people hop into polyamorous relationships for that reason, and it's the completely wrong reason too.
Right.
But it does look attractive to them. But even those people, like, they're not in it for the right reason, and eventually, like, they run into even bigger problems than they would if they were in a monogamous relationship.
I think it's worse.
Yeah, it gets way worse.
Yeah, I agree.
It gets way worse because you have this expectation of that's not even. Yeah, no, don't do it.
They're like, okay, what?
I mean, we
it's a
talked
good
about
man over there. He married, so I'll just go ahead and get some of that good man over there because ain't no.
Hold on, now you talking about becoming a professional side chick, or you talking about which one is it? Because I mean, a little bit of both. Because I talked about this before, like being gay for the state. Like, don't do it.
Gay for the state. I cannot. I cannot.
Some women out there doing things they don't agree with just to hold on to a man that probably ain't for.
Please.
But that's the whole concept of what he's saying. A lot of women, they'll end up putting up with a lot of shit because they're just like, okay, well, I ain't finna go out there because damn sure ain't nothing out there. That's what their mindset is.
Know your worth, ladies.
I think you have to understand that if you with this nigga and he cheats on you, and y'all know how I feel about that. What you think the next motherfucker finna do?
Yeah.
He's going to cheat on you too.
So you saying all men are cheaters, Vaughn?
Fucking nigga, you know.
Vaughn has said that plenty
God.
of times.
All
What do
right.
you mean?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Vaughn stands on the platform that all men cheat.
Right.
I mean, until somebody can prove me different, I mean,
So
I'm more.
are y'all ready for round 2? Are y'all ready for round 2?
Trishana said she is not for it.
Are y'all ready for round 2?
Okay, come on, Tunda. What else is on your mind?
Oh, I got a second one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You be paying attention in the meeting?
Obviously not. Nah, I had one.
Damn,
We had a lot of
it's
good
always
conversation that
somebody.
kinda went away.
Let's talk about the Father's Day.
Oh, the father's mother's thing. Oh, okay.
I've been seeing it on my timeline, of course, now.
Okay. This one, to me, it's honestly pretty cut and dry.
I know
Oh,
what you should have talked about.
what I should have talked about?
Nigga, just say it. If
Just
you
say
talk
it.
about it. Oh, nigga,
This nigga.
you wasn't a good cheater in school.
Like the way they raised.
Okay. So, she wants me to go back to one I brought up, like, right before. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, all right, this one's, like, a little deeper. But this is something that definitely is systemic and I definitely feel strongly about. So, my friend made this post the other day, and she was like, if you're black and you're raising homophobic children, don't be mad at white people raising racist children. You're still teaching hate. And that was a very fundamental principle, but it echoes because it's very true. And I only say this because in our society today, I feel like there are certain forms of hate that have become socially acceptable. I'll even make the joke like most black people will look at Hispanic people like, oh, Hispanics can't drive. Yeah. Like off the rip, like that's something that most black people will agree in, especially in Houston. But even in that, like that is a stereotype. So you can't get mad if a white person's at home with their family say all black people steal. Like, what's the difference? Right. You are making a judgment on a group of people off of your few interactions or probably something that didn't even happen to you, something you've seen happen. And I just don't feel like that's right. Not to saying that it will ever stop, but I feel like the more we acknowledge it and the more we're conscious of it, the more we can stop it. Right. Because these are the little things, the little seeds that are planted that our kids pick up on and that carry on.
Right.
And
you really feel like it starts in the house?
I know it starts in the house.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely it's something that starts very small, very jokingly, and you thinking, oh, it's just a small joke, but like, just like when you are with your friends and you make a little sly comment about your man, and you continue to make little sly comments, they start to form a bigger opinion about this person that they don't know personally.
Right.
And I feel like those are those little seeds that we plant, and I think that we as a people, as all people, should definitely be more mindful of the way that we perceive people and talk about people outwardly.
I agree. I definitely feel like it does start in the household, and I do feel like we need to protect everybody. Trans, gay, like it doesn't matter. Trans, gay, doesn't matter. Because I feel like these days, like life is just nothing to people. You know, they're jumping on people, they're killing people, based off their beliefs and things like that. And their lives matter as well. So
Agreed.
I do feel
Every
like
life matters.
I do feel like it does. It starts in the household. That's what I feel like with racism, because to me, kids don't see color. To me,
no.
They, that's your friend from school, like type thing. You're definitely taught that, like in my opinion. And the same thing about the homo stuff. Homophobic things. I feel like you are definitely taught that younger. Because even when I was younger, you think about how it was just such a sin. To be gay, type thing. And even if a girl, I played girls basketball. Even if a woman was like gay or lesbian or something, it was just such a like, oh wow, like it was such a big deal. Now in 2020, everybody's so open. It's just crazy. I feel like we're so behind. We really are. I feel like we're so behind. It's ridiculous. It's like we need to erase off, the dry erase board and like start over.
So how do you put it in reverse though?
With what?
Erasing the hate?
Yeah.
I think that comes with more exposure. I think that definitely, like, I've seen it happen before, where it's like when you start to realize how much you have in common with people versus how much you're different than people, you definitely start to look at them differently.
Yep.
The thing about, all right, I'll break it down to something as simple as this. And this is an argument that quickly gets started. iPhone users versus Apple users.
Oh, God. This is not even an argument. Is this really an argument?
That's a real quick argument. Which one is better? So, but the whole thing about it is, and I always tell Apple people this, Apple people live in an Apple bubble. They only hang around Apple people, and they typically know.
But yeah, we hang out with you, though.
No.
Okay.
See?
That's why you in your own little. Okay.
No, but I'm saying, like, I had this argument, like, real quick, and this would be like, because typically once you go Apple, you get into an Apple ecosystem and you only know Apple stuff. So you only know what Apple's letting out. You don't know about all the other phones that are coming out, all the other features, because honestly, you're not interested because you want to stay in your little bubble. And because of that, you don't realize all the other cool stuff that's going on. So you're like, oh, no, they don't got nothing out there. Everything's right here. Just like America. Like, America is the greatest country on earth. Right here, because we are, our education system only focuses on our history. We're not exposed to other countries, other cultures, not on a deeper level to where it actually looks interesting. The only thing we know about is third world countries that we see on TV. You don't see all the cool stuff, and they don't want you to step outside of your bubble and get exposed to other things. And I think that limited education is what causes hate, because you feel like you're so much better and you don't know what's out there. Same thing goes with race. Like, if you realized or had sat down and talked with somebody and realized what was really going on, you definitely would look at people in a different light. That's so education and exposure are the ways. That's why my kids, I try to expose them to as much as I possibly can. And they will definitely be international travelers. They have their passports, and I want them to see everything. That way they can judge what's the best place on earth for them.
Awesome. Vondre?
I mean, I don't know. I think that I think that racism, you can teach kids certain things, but I think at the end of the day, like let's say if a white person was raised around nothing but black people, right? And they might really, really love black people. But let a black person piss them off. Guess what? I just feel like this is just me. The first thing that's gonna come to their mind is nigga. Like they gonna fucking nick. Like I just feel like it's like it's like it's a chip that's in there somewhere. And nigga, like your best friends might be black, dog, and it's gonna be like or if a black kid is around white people and you get into it with a white boy, what you gonna do? Fuck you, white boy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like. Even though you wasn't raised like that, it's just like a trigger, nigga. Like it's like, oh, this is what's gonna set this person off, or this is really how I feel deep down inside. Like
you feel like it's bred like this.
Or I just feel like that's just what it is. Like you might not really hate that person, but at the same time, you know what to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do I think that Donald Trump hates
really
black
feel,
people? I don't think that he hates black people because he's hung out with black people before he was president. You ever heard? You hear that when he said that? He said nobody called me racist until I became president. I mean, it's true. He got
I don't know about all that.
So
no, what you mean?
No.
He has millions of pictures with.
I agree.
I know.
So you're one of those people that feel like just because someone has
Pictures.
a friend of
I got a black friend.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't buy that card.
I feel like a true racist ain't hanging out with no black people.
Look,
I don't agree.
I do.
Donald Trump is a
Keep your friends
businessman.
exactly.
He is a businessman, right? He is a businessman. But let me ask you a question. Do you know, like, you think if you go to Alabama in the sticks of Alabama, nigga, and you walk down the side of the road, this white man gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey, brother, you need some help?" Fuck no.
That's not the same as being
Man.
around them.
Okay, but, all right. I do want to ask y'all this, and you tell me your opinion, because I was actually reading this book. If you ever read it, Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. It's a good book to read. But he was talking about apartheid, and he made this notion that it's easier for someone outside of your race to try to integrate and be accepted, rather than somebody who is in your race and identifies outside of your race to be accepted by you. And in that, he's saying, like, if you're black and you have black friends, but you're kind of preppy and you're kind of white and you're not the typical black guy, like the black people around you will ostracize you. Versus if you're the white guy who's trying to be black, that you're easier to be accepted. And and the same with the other way, if you're a group of white people and you got a black guy that's nerdy and he comes over there with acting white with them, that they'll accept him. Oh, it's the cool black guy.
Yeah.
But if it's a white guy in a group of white people who wants to be black, they're going to look at him weirdly and ostracize him. Do you guys agree with that? Are you quicker to, well, you're corporate, so it doesn't really apply to you. And you're really well-rounded. So it really doesn't apply to you either.
So Vaughn.
So Vaughn.
Well, I mean, you gotta look at me. I went to an all-white school.
Yeah.
Oh, so Vaughn. Okay,
yeah,
so it doesn't apply to any of us.
I mean,
then.
I'm from Cyprus.
On that
man.
note,
Yeah.
what's on your mind, Kate?
I think the next one I'm gonna go with is
Come on, got 7 minutes.
why has everyone made it so cool to not care and to be heartless?
Ooh.
Why is that like the cool like
Oh, that's
people
easy
act like
for me.
that's cool now?
Vaughn?
Oh shit!
Bro, if y'all could have heard what this man just said under his breath. He just cut so smooth. Fuck out, like y'all don't even know.
Well, I'm about to go around the table anyway. Why is that cool now? Like to be heartless and to like brag about like not caring
I don't
and
give a
things
fuck
like
about
that.
these bitches, that's, you know.
Why has society made that like just so cool? Like FDB, fuck the beach.
Because it's more of a defense thing. Like you can't get hurt if you don't open up your heart to getting hurt, right?
Correct.
So like you can still like somebody without giving them 100% of you. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you give a person 100%, then that's when they feel like, okay, now I can
Yeah.
I can really show my ass. You know what I'm saying? And then you end up getting hurt, and then it's just like, well, fuck. Now the next person is gonna be 10 times harder.
Right.
And then if it happens again, then the next person is gonna be
100
20 times
yeah.
harder. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just to the point to where it's easier for you to be like, I don't give a fuck, and the other person be like, I don't give a fuck, but you be like, well, I fuck with you though. I'm like, well, cool, I fuck with you too. Then y'all just basically kicking it with nothing attached. And it is what it is
on the surface, but it always deep on the inside though. And somebody always
but
ends up getting their feelings hurt
but
like
ain't
that.
nobody who's going to be the first one to say it's deeper. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants to.
See, but no one says it, but then you start getting passive aggressive behavior.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I hate
And then
that.
you like, damn, what the fuck? I thought we was cool.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, we cool, but
I think a lot of people don't know how to have conversations, right? And it's just a conversation that got to be had. Like if you're developing more feelings than what y'all initially talked about, then it's a conversation.
Nah, and I agree, but you know what? I'm gonna say this though, and this
Y'all
is the thing.
make it so hard to have that conversation.
No, this is what
No,
happened.
y'all so scared to have that conversation.
No,
'cause
it's not
y'all-
that fact. No, bro.
They're afraid. They're afraid of what we're going to say,
Who is
right?
they?
Huh?
No.
Oh my
I'ma
God!
tell
Okay,
you what
my bad
happened,
over here.
though.
Hulk
Who's
Hogan
that?
over here. I'm so
It's
tough.
not
Fuck
that.
out of here, man.
It's not about being so tough, but
Okay.
I will say that a lot of people feel like when you communicate well and when you are direct, you're labeled as aggressive.
Yes.
I'm a
And
very
no,
direct.
You can still be direct without being aggressive.
What I'm saying is people who are not used to good communication will easily label a
I agree.
direct person as an aggressive person. Like, oh, she aggressive, bro. Like, she told me this is what it's going to be. This is what it's not going to be. Like, you know, or, hey, like, what's up? People feel like, oh, damn, she aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
damn, shawty.
Nah, I mean, I
So
personally.
I feel like it's a mix with all that.
Nah, all right. So in that, I will agree with that. Men, well, more so men run into that problem when they have a woman who is very direct and does communicate well. They don't know how to handle it. Either that, or they are used to the kind of woman that they
Don't
can,
you be sheepish. Like,
they can like run head games on. But if you
Mm-hmm.
messing with a direct woman, like you can't play no games with her. But as far as like people not wanting to be vulnerable, I think what happens is people expect if I tell you I'm starting to fall for you, you expect that other person to say I'm falling for you too. But when that doesn't happen, and that's okay, because I mean personally I don't feel like people will fall in love at the same time. But people, when you tell somebody I'm falling for you, that I have feelings for you, it shouldn't be in waiting on response of. This should just be you announcing how you feel.
yeah.
And
But
you
most
shouldn't-
people
and,
say-
and if you
just
don't
saying.
feel that way, you shouldn't feel like you need to ghost that person.
No.
But that's what I was
that's the
just
thing.
saying,
Like
though.
when a
People are
typically-
scared to have that conversation, but they're scared of the response, right?
Right.
They're scared of the response.
So now you're gonna feel awkward around that person when you really shouldn't. You shouldn't
Because
at all.
that person's cool. It's like, all right, I accept that. Like,
At
when
least you
somebody
know-
says I love you, you expect the other person to say I love you back.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm not gonna say it back. I was like, I care for you, but I'm not there yet. That's usually like
Let-
I'm not there
Yeah.
yet. It's
I
usually
feel like
my
the
response.
least expectations, the less disappointments. Like, this is how I feel.
I think
Because
I
people
think
have told
that-
me I love you, and I'm like, okay, like,
But I think,
Like, I didn't-
But no, I
I
mean,
think,
if
no,
you
I
don't
think,
feel
I
it,
think,
like,
I think,
you should
like,
I
I
think
can
telling
feel
somebody,
comfortable, but
telling
I'm not
somebody you
gonna-
love that you love them, it depends on when they're saying it. Like if they just fucked up and they're like,
Okay.
well, babe, I love you.
Using it as a
Like,
manipulation.
Yeah, that's
Get the-
manipulation.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, nigga. You,
I bet you
oh
do.
yeah,
motherfucker.
oh yeah, really?
you do need-
Fuck you, nigga.
What you think, Lee Crystal? They're loving this topic in the comments, y'all. I see you, Lala, Siobhan, Sylvia. I see y'all.
So I am one of the ones that find it hard to have those kind of conversations. I usually wait for that guy to take that lead.
Oh,
Yeah, and
shit.
then when it doesn't, and
Look.
I can be feeling because of the fact that I've been burnt. And it comes from when I say burnt ass, I mean
Oh,
Vaughn ain't shit.
Whoa.
you're so wrong.
like because unfortunately, dealing with a lot of tourist men are manipulators.
Like a tourist man, like-
Wait, you really going there?
Hold on. What the fuck?
What is
y'all?
that?
Okay, y'all. LaCrystal always trying to attack us.
Always.
Like slick attacking.
What
right?
do you mean? No, I'm not slick attacking.
All
No.
the time.
All the time.
No, this is my life. It just so happens that I have dealt with a lot of Taurus men, and it just so happens that Tunde is a Taurus. Ain't no slick attack. I'm speaking my life, Negro.
You looked right at
That's
him.
her testimony.
She looked right at him.
Oh,
I mean,
I constantly get attacked, and it's okay.
and I don't.
But who? LaCrystal attacks me and Tunde every ever.
Don't get attacked.
Sometimes.
So we're
But
not-
you bring it up though.
True
You
that.
love Leos.
He
You
in
said
denial.
oh,
Nah, I do have a
bullfucking
thing
shit.
for Leos, and
What's
I
on
know
your
more.
mind for the last 2 minutes? You know, you're always coming for me.
Alright,
I've been trying to be
alright,
good today.
All right, so I just want to talk about this bullshit with Greg Abbott and his opening these schools back up.
Child.
Man, like no masks, no nothing. Like, how the fuck you think this would have happened? Like, this is crazy to
Well,
me.
I've seen parents all over the newsfeed saying my kids ain't going back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's ridiculous. Like, the cases are steady rising, and
Steady rising.
And
If y'all ain't paying attention, it is rising.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like he's basically saying like, okay, guys, we got everything we wanted out of y'all, so let's.
Do y'all feel like eventually everyone's just gonna have to catch it?
I low key think I already caught it.
I think it's
I
like
think I've caught it
I
as
think
well.
it's like the flu.
I think.
Yeah, like
I keep thinking back in.
I don't
November when
get
was
sick,
this
but
time.
beginning of January, I was sick for like 3 weeks, and I don't even get sick.
I feel like for some reason I feel like everybody's gonna just have to get it eventually
So are they saying that
in
once
order
you get it, you
to
can't
be
get
like
it?
No, they're
immune
saying
to
that
it?
you can catch it twice, from what I've heard, but I haven't heard any official documentation stating that.
I don't know. Either way, I went. Mm-mm.
So,
And then-
so
I'm not
are,
with it.
are y'all gonna allow your kids to go back in August?
No,
Nah.
I feel like it's a risk with
I mean-
having a child in daycare and around other kids in general on a regular day. Like I know parents that
yeah,
get
but
sick
when you
all the
know
time.
that there's such an extreme sickness out there, that's different. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but I'm just
Like,
saying, like in general, on a regular day, parents are sick all the time behind snotty-nosed kids in their daycares and.
So you think
schools.
it's okay for them to go back?
No, I don't. But I'm just saying,
Too much
minus the
going on.
pandemic, parents are sick a lot behind their kids. is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
agreed.
Well, we've kind of went over time, you guys.
Just a little bit.
Next week we're gonna have game night. So next week is gonna be like really fun. Von's gonna get really drunk, and
Why is it
we're gonna
Von's
have-
turn? Why can't you get drunk?
'Cause
Shawty got
it
drunk.
was my turn last time. Actually, since you brought it up, we're gonna find a way for it to be your turn.
Paper,
Tunda.
rock, scissors.
Well, anyway.
Right now, come on.
We gonna fight it out.
It's K's turn.
It's between them two.
We
Me
gonna
and
figure
me
it
and
out.
Von have win already.
Hey,
That's
we-
all.
Best out
no.
three. Best out three.
Go ahead.
Paper, rock, scissors. Paper, rock, scissors. Paper, rock, scissors.
Oh, that's one.
Paper, rock, scissors. Paper, rock, scissors.
Oh, that's one.
One,
Uh-oh.
scissors.
Winner.
So who is it?
It's K.
So Kay is
Kay's
the shot
getting
taker
drunk.
next week. So next week when we have game night, you guys, we're gonna have a secret word, and whenever you guys say it in the comment section, Kay has to take a shot. I don't know what games we're playing, but we're gonna figure
We're
it
gonna
out.
find some good games.
And it's gonna be game night, so it's gonna be really fun. So make sure you guys tune in next week because we're gonna have a lot of fun. But until then, we're the afternoon sip. 4 shots.
No chasers.